What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Today, I'm going to be playing in a Sword and Shield pre-release. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be opening my kit and building my deck here on camera for everybody, and then talking about how my rounds go, and then opening my bonus packs at the end. We streamed a Sword and Shield pre-release here at Full Grip Games last night at midnight. And that was a ton of fun. Everybody's building battle kits were absolutely insane. There were so many Pokemon V being opened, and I was very envious. So I'm very thankful to be playing in my own pre-release today with my own build and battle kit. I don't get to do this very often, so it's definitely a special occasion for me. And hoping we get some sick pulls. Make sure to check out fullgripgames.com. We've got Sword and Shield pre-orders up now for singles from the set. If you're looking to get your hands on the cards as soon as humanly possible, you can do that at Full Grip Games. We've got the Berserker, the Galarian Berserker promo there. I actually love Berserker. If you watch on Twitch, you will have seen that we just made ourselves a Galarian Berserker emote for the channel. And this card is very cool. Steely Spirit reads your metal Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance, and does 70 damage for 3. So a very cool card there, and I love the artwork on it. I'm also going to be giving away all of the codes that we open out of our packs. So if you're an early bird here on YouTube, then you can maybe grab a few of those. Little insert there, and let's get to the evolution kits. Now, from what I saw, the evolution kits are very good, and the Rillaboom seems excellent. This Snorlax also seems super good in pre-release format. Rolling Tackle does 80 for 3. It's a colorless Pokemon with 150 hit points. A basic non-EX, non-GX, non-V Pokemon with 150 hit points. Absolutely massive. And for 4 energy, does 130. And Snorlax saw a lot of play in the pre-release that I streamed last night. There is our code for anybody watching at home. You might be able to snag that if you're quick. We got Evolution Incense, Lucky Egg, Hop, Professor's Research. I am really excited to get a Professor's Research. The Professor's Research, one of the most sought after cards in Sword and Shield right now. Just the discard draw 7 supporter. It's a holo rare in the set, so really hard to find. And these non-holo versions only come in some theme decks and the build and battle kits. So this card sure to be a staple in many, many decks for the years to come. We got a 3-2-1 Rillaboom line, which I really like. We got the Galarian Meowth to go with our Galarian Berserker. We got Rotom Bike, a Quick Ball, which is also amazing, and another Professor's Research. Wow, 2 Professor's Research in this kit. That is as good as it gets. 2 is the maximum you could get in the kit, so I'm really stoked about that. And then we've got a 3-3 Bisharp line, Bisharp line. Bisharp has an attack charge order. This attack does 30 more damage for each of your benched Pawniard, and we have 3 Pawniard in our kits with the 1-1 Galarian Berserker line. The Rillaboom with the Snorlax has proved to be a very effective strategy in these pre-releases from what I've seen so far, and I'm glad that we've got, you know, our kit started with a good amount of supporters. We got the Hop, which draws 3 cards. Lucky Egg draws cards. Pokekid gets a Pokemon out of your deck and puts it into your hand. So a great start to our kit for sure. Now let's see if we can get anything to juice this deck up in our 4 packs that come in the build and battle kit. And when I open these, I'm just going to be building my deck right here on camera. I've got my deck box with sleeves ready to go, and just be walking you through the whole process that that we take here at a pre-release. We've got Krabby, Grookey, Mudbray, Hoot Hoot, Pinchurin, a rare candy, which is actually really cool for the Rillaboom line because you can skip the Thwacky altogether and rare candy into Rillaboom, which is good. Cloyster, Fire Energy, and I love the new energy that we have in this set. It's got the nice little flare effect on it, and it's not just the fire energy that is like this. All the energy has that little flare coming off of the energy symbol, which just looks really slick. I love it for sure. Heatmore, the Galarian Stunfisk is a very cool card as well. It's got an awesome ability, Snap Trap. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if it's knocked out, discard an energy from the attacking Pokemon, and then Damage Rush does 30 damage plus flip a coin until you get tails, and it does 30 more damage for each heads. I do really like this card just as a card to stall while you set up other strategies, because your opponent has to discard an energy every time they hit into it, which can be very valuable in a pre-release format, even though pre-release decks are generally chock full of energy cards. So we'll see if the Galarian Stunfisk comes into play. It is metal type, and I do have a metal type kit, so potentially so. Definitely wanting a Pokemon V, though. We saw in the pre-release stream yesterday that Pokemon V were just all over the place. We got another Pawniard, which is really good because our Bisharp does more damage for the amount of Pawniards we have on our bench. A Sizzlipede, a Yamper, Clobopus, Cottony, Scorbunny, and a Lantern as our rare. It has an attack, Ram, and Strobe Shock. Strobe Shock does 90 damage for 3. Your opponent reveals their hand, and if you find any energy cards there, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That's actually insane because it's automatic paralysis basically in pre-release format. Your opponent's always going to have an energy in their hand, just about. So that is a really good card if I end up getting lightning support for it. Linoon, Energy Switch, and of course our code. So we've got 2 more packs to go. Still pulling for a Pokemon V. If we do well, we're going to get some prize packs too. I believe all 3-0 competitors get 6 bonus packs at the end. All 2-1 competitors after the 3 rounds get 4 bonus packs, and everybody gets 2 bonus packs regardless of finish. And it looks like I might actually have something in this pack. Kind of peaked. All right, we've got Clobopus, we've got Cottony, we've got Choodle, we've got Rhyhorn, Rookidee, a Rhydon, and Delmise V actually really busted with the Rillaboom line. This is amazing, and it's going to be so good in the deck. Delmise V has got Anchor Anger, 30 damage plus 90 more if one of your Pokemon was knocked out last turn, and then Giga Hammer does 200 damage. An absolutely huge Pokemon with 220 hit points, and it is a Pokemon V. So I am very excited about that, and this is for sure going to be guiding the direction of my deck. And wow, two trainer cards as well, and the code card. The trainer cards are going to be very good, especially this air balloon. The air balloon makes it so that my Delmise can potentially have free retreat. The retreat cost of the Pokemon air balloon is attached to is 2 less, and the Pokekid just goes and gets Pokemon out of your deck. So very excited about those. That Delmise V definitely makes the whole deck. We got there, Pokemon V in the kits. I'm really excited. I got to see a lot of Pokemon V opened on stream last night, and I was for sure having some serious FOMO watching that. So getting to open my own Pokemon V in the pre-release kit is really, really exciting and very rewarding. See what we can get in this next one. We've got another Rhyhorn, another Clobopus, Goldeen, Roselia. Natalie is going to be stoked about that. She loves Roselia, and she has been looking for the Roselias out of the new set. It's very neat. Ghastly, Orbeetle, and Mudsdale is our rare. Water Energy, another rare candy, Lumberry, and Corvisquire with the code. So multiple rare candies could mean that I am able to get a very quick Rillaboom into play. So the first thing I like to do when I open all my packs and the kit is just separate Pokemon by type. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Just get everything all sorted out so that I can take a good look at what options I have for each type. Because even though your deck is usually kind of buffeted largely by the evolution kits that comes with your pre-release packs, there is always the possibility that you maybe pulled a valuable evolution line or something like that, or maybe just a Pokemon that has more to it than you might have noticed at first glance. So I always like to break it down first and take a look, make sure that there's not anything I'm missing. I really like the Hyper Potion combo with Rillaboom as well. Hyper Potion heals 120 damage from one of your Pokemon, and you discard 2 energy from it. With Rillaboom, that's no problem because you could just go get more energy out of the deck. We got the Galarian Berserker, of course, and the Snorlax. Now, the more I look at this deck, the more I think, okay, I might not even play the whole Bisharp and Poniard package. We may just focus on the Rillabooms, the Thracky. I wish I pulled a second Rillaboom. I mean, that really would have been the dream here if I had gotten 2 Rillabooms, just because then I would feel even more confident about kind of basing my entire strategy around the Rillaboom, which is probably what I'm going to do anyway. Only 1 Psychic type so far with the Ghastly, Rare Candy, Lumberry. Heals all special conditions. I like that actually for a deck that relies very heavily on maybe 1 big Pokemon V. So with only 1 Psychic type, the Ghastly, we're going to go ahead and just toss that to the side. We do know that the Grass Pokemon are going to be very valuable for our decks. For our deck with the Rillaboom, the Grookey, the Dhelmise. The other guys that we have in the Grass category, Cottony, Roselia, and Orbeetle, really not going to be doing it for us, especially since Orbeetle needs to evolve and we don't have the evolutions we need. So we're going to go ahead and put those to the side as well. As far as water goes, we got Krabby, Choodle, Goldeen, and Cloyster. So not really doing it for me there in the water category. We are going to put those to the side as well. Now, I do know that I did get some Rhyhorns and a Rhydon, so let's at least take a look at those. Rhyhorn has an attack, Stomp Off, discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, and then Land Crush does 70 damage for 3. The other Rhyhorn does 10 and 30 damage, and then Rhydon has an attack for 1 fighting and 2 colorless. It does Horn Drill for 50, and Rock Slide deals 100 damage, and it reads, this attack also does 10 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon for 4 energy, and it has 120 hit points. So that is a possibility if we do want to split the energy type up. And then we do have a 1/1 Mudsdale line, double impact for 3 fighting, 120 damage, flip 2 coins, 120 damage times the number of heads. And Mudbray is just a vanilla Pokemon, does 10 and 30. So between that and the 3 Clobbopus that I got, I do have some complete fighting evolution lines, though I don't think that they are necessarily going to be strong enough to warrant dividing up the energy typing of my deck. I got a Galarian Linoone, that's not doing anything for me. We've got a Rookidee and a Corvisquire, which just does some vanilla damage there. Pluck does 20 damage, removes tools, but that's not really valuable enough to warrant playing. The Hoothoot has an attack. Your opponent switches the active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. It's cute, but the Snorlax here is really what is worth writing home about. So we do have that Snorlax, like I said at the beginning. Huge Pokemon, 150 hit points, perfect, colorless attack cost, pairs perfectly with Rillaboom, so we are definitely going to be putting him in the consideration pile. In the Lightning category, we've got a couple of Galvantulas, Lantern, Yamper, Pincurchin. Nothing really there that amounts to anything. Fire category, we've got Heatmore, Scorbunny, and Sizzlypede. And none of those are really looking terribly interesting. Let's see, Heatmore is a basic Pokemon with 110 hit points, Searing Flame, 1 fire energy, your opponent's active Pokemon is not burned, and then 2 for 50, Vanilla Attacker, which is fine. And then, of course, we have our metals. We've got 3 Poniard and 3 Bisharp with a 4th Poniard and potentially the Stunfisk and the 1/1 Galarian Berserker. So this is looking like our strongest type, especially since the Bisharp's Charge Order does more damage for each of your bench Poniard, and we do have the extra Poniard, so we can potentially do like over 100 damage, maybe 120 damage if we have 3 Poniard on the bench and a Bisharp in the active for just 1 colorless energy, which is very good. And then the Stunfisk can be good just to buy time potentially with Air Balloon. while we set up. Is it going to be worth it to play the 1/1 Berserker line? I'm thinking probably not, but let's take a look at the items. Now, we're going to want to play most of these. Most definitely our 2 copies of Professor Research, our 2 copies of Pokey Kid, our Air Balloon definitely going to be going into the deck. I really like the Hyper Potion combined with the Rillaboom. Quick Ball is an absolute must. The Hop is an absolute must. Rotom Bike, great consistency card for us early game. Lucky Egg gives us some draw power as well. Evolution Incense is good. I think potentially the 2 rare candy could just make their way into the deck, as well as the Lumberry, to just give us some options. The Energy Switch is the only trainer here that I don't feel like is really worthy of a spot. If any of these trainers do need to get cut for space, I think pinching the rare candy or 2, or maybe the Lumberry, can go, but everything else is an absolute must in this pre-release deck. These 3 are in the maybe pile, but are also in the probably pile, because with 2 copies of rare candy, we have an opportunity to really get our Rillaboom into play very quickly, especially with 2 copies of Pokekid to search out Pokemon from our deck as well. So it gives us a higher chance of being able to open the Grookey Rare Candy Rillaboom start, especially with 4 copies of Grookey. So this is the backbone of our deck. We've got 4 Grookey, 2 Thwackey, and a Rillaboom with Dhelmise V and Snorlax. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 trainers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 14 plus 9, 23. That gives us the option to play 17 Grass Energy if I would like to. Now, I'm not necessarily trying to get benched out. If I start including these, you know, we do want probably more than 6 basic Pokemon. So I really like the Galarian Stunfisk as a one-of, because I can just sit behind it while I try to get my Dhelmise V powered up. Am I going to go as far as to include these guys in the deck? We only need to take 4 prizes is the thing. So are these guys really going to help in my quest to take 4 prizes? Let's see. So like I said before, we have room for 16 Grass Energy now. Am I going to play, you know, 1 Bisharp and 4 Pawniard? And then, so like that's 5. You know, you could play a line like this so that maybe you could just do some bonus damage with a Bisharp out of nowhere. Maybe if you run into an annoying Galarian Obstagoon or something like that, just having maybe a 4-2 Bisharp line could give you an out to get around the Galarian Obstagoon. So I do potentially like that. It's also just some additional Pokemon that can buy us some time while we try to set up our strategy. We probably don't need the Lumberry if we're trying to just pinch spots. The rare candies are very good just because they make our deck much faster. So I do like that. I think that I am definitely not going to be including the Berserker. So we're going to put that to the side. With all of these Pokemon, I feel confident that I'm not going to get benched. That's good. I didn't feel as confident with only 6 Pokemon, especially with the limited draw and basic search, though it is possible we could potentially do it. I want to have a lot of Grass Energy in my deck as well, especially since some of these guys are very energy hungry. The Snorlax takes 4, for instance. The Rillaboom takes 4. Dhelmise takes 3. It's 11 energy right there, and no way to recover it with 2 Professor's Research, which both discard, and the Hyper Potion, which discards potential energy as well. So let's see where we're at with these. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you said 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's 12 energy. And I'm feeling pretty confident about that. I would really like room for a couple more energy. With 12, I'm like, okay, I could probably do better. Than 12, just because you want to be able to accelerate energy with the Rillaboom every single turn. but 12 is probably good, to be fair. Delmise V only takes 3. You know, if I get the Snorlax up and running with a heavy impact, it's 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My problem is if I'm powering up Delmise V, Rillaboom, and Snorlax, I've almost tapped my entire deck out of energy at 12, especially if I end up discarding any. So I would like a little bit closer to 14, and I could fit it if, you know, I cut the entire Bisharp line and opt for the Stunfisk instead. To be honest, you know, I do have the Rillaboom that could potentially take out Galarian Obstagoon, which is good, but I think that I want to be prepared for Galarian Obstagoon and not just leave myself vulnerable to that strategy with my deck. So I think we'll pinch the Stunfisk, we'll include the Bisharp so that we have an out to Galarian Obstagoon, and then I could even just pinch a Grookey as well, though no, he really wants to open the Grookey, so I think maybe we can pinch a rare candy for a 13th energy, or we could just run 12. I'm going to go and consider it a little bit and get the deck sleeved up. I'll be running 12 or 13 energy, might make one more cut. Very excited to sleeve this deck up and see how we do. I'll check back between rounds and let you know how the tournament is shaking up for us. Just finished my first round and it went really well. I made some last minute changes to my deck that really ended up buffing out. After thinking about it a little bit further, I decided to completely cut the Bisharp line from the deck and just focus entirely on accelerating grass energy into play with the Rillaboom, and that strategy really paid off in my game. I was able to get Delmise V into play and Snorlax, as well as Rillaboom, and Rillaboom's Voltage Beat had plenty of grass energy targets in the deck because I had room for 16 grass energy, which ended up being perfect for the deck. With Delmise V and Giga Hammer not being able to be streamed on back-to-back turns, it means that sometimes you're going to have to retreat energy off of the Pokemon in order to stream attacks, which means that sometimes you're going to be discarding grass energy you don't want to discard. And then also with Professor's research, as I thought, grass energy were very, very vital to my win condition, and having plenty of them in the deck not only meant that I was going to have plenty of energy in order to attack, but it also meant that I wasn't going to deck out, which was really important. I was down to the final 3 energy in my deck at the end of the game that I won, so I was very pleased with the decision to run 16 grass energy. After thinking about it a little bit more, I was a little bit scared of the Galarian Obstagoon with outplaying too many evolutions, but the more I thought about it, I can actually use Rare Candy to evolve one of my Grookeys into Rillaboom. That leaves me with 2 Thwackies, and something that I forgot about, the Galarian Obstagoon is actually weak to grass. So Thwackey can one-hit KO a Galarian Obstagoon, which is really good. And then, of course, the Rillaboom does also one-hit KO a Galarian Obstagoon. So between the Thwackies and the Rillaboom, I felt like I had plenty of coverage since I can evolve into 2 Thwackies with the Rillaboom evolving through a rare candy. So plenty of options to be able to take care of a Galarian Obstagoon in the deck. The deck set up like a dream. I was actually able to get the air balloon onto the Delmise V, which was very good because I could go in with a Giga Hammer for 200 damage and then retreat into Snorlax, who kind of swept the rest of my opponent's Pokemon. Unfortunately, my opponent John prized his Lapras V that he pulled, so he didn't really have a lot of good targets to accelerate his water energy from Frostmoth onto, and we were able to sweep without too much interruption. Really looking forward to the next game. Something I was scared of, though, he did run Seaking in his deck, and Seaking actually had the potential to be able to deck me out if Seaking hit enough heads on a Pokemon like Snorlax. Snorlax got 4 retreat. Seaking has an attack. For 1 water energy, flip 3 coins and discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon for each heads you flip. Imagine if John had flipped 3 heads, discarded 3 energy from my active Snorlax. I would have been very glad that I had plenty of energy in the deck to be able to accelerate. I also really enjoyed just playing a single energy type deck. It was very consistent. We were able to execute the strategy quite easily. Looking forward to my next round, and hopefully we can win some bonus packs and go 3-0. Round 2 did not go nearly as well. Yep, game lasted all of 2 minutes. I started with the Galarian Stunfisk, which was really cool because Galarian Stunfisk has the ability Snap Trap, which makes your opponent discard an energy attached to their Pokemon whenever it gets attacked. So I was confident starting the Galarian Stunfisk. I opened a Professor's Research and drew 7 cards. Off the 7 cards, I got a Rare Candy and a Rillaboom. No Grookey's, and all I could find was my Snorlax. So I started manually attaching energy to Snorlax. The Galarian Stunfisk eventually got knocked out by Bisharp. My opponent got a very quick Bisharp with a couple Pawniards on the bench and was just swinging for 90 every turn. So Galarian Stunfisk got knocked out quick. I used Rolling Tackle and was able to take out the first Bisharp, but of course there was a second Bisharp right behind it, and Snorlax got knocked out, and I was a couple turns away from top decking a Grookey to get the Rare Candy Rillaboom out, or the Delmise, which would have bought me a couple more turns as well, but unfortunately that is the way that pre-releases go sometimes. So the draws were not with me in that match. I am hopeful that maybe we will be able to win our 3rd game and potentially get some bonus packs for opening at the end of the video, so fingers crossed. Just finished my 3rd and final round of the Sword and Shield pre-release, and I ended up winning. Played against Frank Persick. It was a nice, fun game. He was playing the Galarian Obstagoon deck that I was a little bit concerned about. Had a little bit of a tough time setting up, but eventually was able to draw into my Rillaboom. And once Rillaboom was up and going, Frank actually had forgotten that his Galarian Obstagoons are weak to grass, so he thought he was trading 2-hit KOs with Rillaboom, but Rillaboom ended up just kind of sweeping the Galarian Obstagoon, and he prized his second one. I had prized my Delmise V, but we got it off the first prize that we took, so Delmise V ended up taking some critical knockouts with Giga Hammer. Giga Hammer is a little bit weird to play around in the pre-release format, since Giga Hammer says during the next turn you can't use Giga Hammer, so it's a lot of like you Giga Hammer, and then you either get the air balloon that I got in my deck and you can retreat into something else, or, you know, you just Giga Hammer and then you kind of pass and then you Giga Hammer again. And to be honest, that's like a pretty formidable strategy with the 220 hit point Pokemon in pre-release format. So very happy with the deck's performance. 2-1. Generally speaking, it was very consistent, and the pre-release kits were a joy to play with. Rillaboom is definitely the all-star, I would say, of this pre-release format. There's always one evolution that's just like miles beyond the other evolutions, and I feel like Rillaboom just is that Pokemon. It's capable of juicing up so many high velocity attackers, with Snorlax coming in the pre-release kits as well, being at 150 hit points, you know, Pokemon who could deal 130 damage, as well as like Pokemon like Delmise. Just a lot of really clutch targets for the Rillaboom, and you can kind of spice your deck up with various alternate energy types so that Rillaboom can kind of satisfy those colorless energy type requirements for Pokemon, and then just manually attach the other ones. So Rillaboom seeing a lot of play here at the pre-release. With my performance of 2-1, I have got 5 bonus packs to open for you all. I'm going to be giving away the codes as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Tricky Jim, and as always, make sure to check out FullGripGames.com. We've got pre-orders for singles up on the website now, and they are going really well, so thank you guys so much for supporting the store. We've got Vulpix, Nickit, Baltoy, Chinchou, and there is something in this pack, guys. I don't know what it is, but it's a Morpeko VMAX. Check that out. It's gorgeous. Oh, he's large and in charge. My first ever VMAX pull. This thing is insane. 300 hit points. Max discharge does 180 damage and 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. What a cool card. And the artwork on that thing is phenomenal. I love him. I love him. He's amazing. Yes, so cool. Fighting Energy, Great Ball, Galarian Linoone, the bike, and a code card for y'all at home. Excellent pull there, the Morpeko VMAX. Wow, so cool. I was considering putting a copy of that in my hit and run Morpeko deck, and I think, you know, with the pull, that could very much be a thing that we test out during the Sword and Shield testing that we're doing on Twitch. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a YouTube exclusive video that I'm filming right now. Make sure to check out the Twitch stream. The Twitch stream is so much fun, and really is a blast in the community that we have over on Twitch with the live gameplays and productions every weekday. It's just been super, super welcoming. So if you've never been on Twitch before, don't feel intimidated. We're a very welcoming crew over there that watches the live content. So thank you to everybody who has given the channel a follow, and look forward to seeing you guys here on YouTube over on Twitch sometime. Make sure to say hello and introduce yourself and give the channel a follow on twitch.tv/TrickyJim. More Pico VMAX. I think like my dream pull here would probably be, you know, the golden dog, right? If we can get the golden Zacian, that would just be insane. I saw one of those pulled at, you know, at a pre-release, or I think it might have been on Twitter. I saw somebody had pulled one, you know, and just definitely envious of that. The gold Pokemon in this set look absolutely beautiful, and very funny. Stone Journer, I think we had Owen on stream last night at the midnight pre-release here at Full Grip, calling this a table, which is very funny. It is definitely table-esque, to say the least. Up next, we've got Rookity, Krabby, Grookey, Mudbray, Hoothoot, Krabby, Rhyperior, Lucky Egg, Crushing Hammer, and a code card. And our final pack of the video is, let's see. It's a green code. Soiled it. Soiled it. Soiled it. That's fine. Evolution Incense, Rare Candy, still some good cards in there, and a code for you guys at home. Thank you so much for scoping out the video 2-1 with the Delmise V deck. All in all, we got a Delmise V and a Morpeko VMAX, and I also got 2 copies of Professor's Research and an Air Balloon. So I'm pretty stoked about some of the cards that I pulled. Quick Ball 2 was in the pre-release kit, so a lot of value with a lot of very good cards in the kits, and it was a ton of fun to play. So kudos to Pokemon for making some really enjoyable pre-release kits to play with. The build and battle kits were just an absolute blast, and if you're considering going to your first pre-release, I definitely recommend it. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell, check out fullgripgames.com, fullgripcodes.com for PTCGO codes instantly delivered. We've got pre-orders up for Sword and Shield codes now, and make sure to scope out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TrickyJim, when you have a chance. Take it easy, have a great day, and I'll catch you on Twitch. Peace!